Hi again. So Chit Chat 2. The believing in God, believing in Osensi, believing in your grandparents or whoever you want to believe in has passed away. I don't know what the general consensus is, whether people out there think that they would like to think there's life after death, but there isn't, and nobody can prove it anyhow. I'm one of these people that, if I say to you, this is a pink piece of paper with a white dot, already your brain will be thinking, why did he say pink when it's white? So it makes you question, it makes you start to think. If I say to you, okay, this piece of white paper with a black dot in it, of course it'll go in, but it's really just not absorbed in the same way. Your brain's not starting to think, why did he say white piece of paper with a black spot? So I'm just trying to get you thinking in the way that I'm going to go about this conversation. Perhaps if you're brought up like me in a religious environment, you're taught that we all have a guardian angel. Well, let's dilute that down a little bit and say when you get a bit older you don't start thinking there's angels next to you. But perhaps I do have a guide. Perhaps if there is an afterlife, really, if something leaves our physical body that's inside us, I can't see it, I can't feel it, but they call it in Catholicism, they call it a soul. Perhaps my soul leaves my body. So if there's some kind of, we'll say, spiritual belief that inside us we do have something that cannot be seen by us, but we'd like to believe in it, it can be classed as a soul. Now, does our soul, is it a sort of spiritual form of us? Is it a 3D hologram? Or what is it? That when we die, it leaves our physical frame, the frame that has a finger that can push the nuclear button, push a click on a camera, turn a light switch on, pick up a gun, kill somebody, rock a baby, giving it love. These are physical things that we can do with this physical body that we've got. But what does this spirit do inside us? Why would you talk to your spirit if it's inside you? Because why would you say, oh dear, why always me? Why does it always have to happen to me? Why can't I have a break for a change? Why, you might be asking these questions, but you might be throwing them out there the same as I threw this white piece of paper with a black dot. But if I throw out the pink piece of paper with a black dot, then you start to think, and you think, okay, well, if I'm going to be talking to myself, because that's what it ends up being, why me? Why do I always get the bad luck? No, I'm never lucky. No point in me buying a lottery ticket, and yet you buy one. Oh, I've never been lucky, never won anything in my life, and yet you'll enter competitions. So there's still some glimmer of hope in there, isn't there? So let's take that glimmer of hope and put it into perhaps there's life after death. I ask a question, but I'm not listening to the answer. Well, the answer's inside me, isn't it? If my spirit's in there. If there's a hologram or 3D copy, carbon copy of Tony Sargeant inside me already, then what's the point in asking that for answers? Because I might be listening. No, I can't get anything. Anyhow, just to jump to us around a little, as I wish to do in this chit-chat session. I was asked by a friend to go and stay with them for a weekend. He's an Aikidoka, met a new lady in his life. They invited me and Jane to go and stay with them for the weekend. I'm not really a sociable animal, but after, 30, 40 years of having the person as a student, they stop being a student and end up being a good friend. Oh, I didn't realise that you liked gardening when we arrived there. You asked first of all, who does the gardening? And this is me being judgmental, that I try not to be, but obviously it's part of the human trait. Oh, who does the gardening? But like the white piece of paper or pink, I expected it to be said, oh, it's my partner, she does it. So I'd already thought this. So why even bother to ask the question? Why don't just go straight to her and say, you keep your garden really nice? It's the same thing as when you say to somebody, oh, how are you? Oh, fine, thanks. And yet they might be terrible, but they don't want to tell you the truth because they know that you're not really interested. And if you started telling them your true aches, pains and problems, they might be like the baby rocking. They might be actually sympathetic, caring and truly concerned. But the majority of people won't be, and they would like to just get on with their busy life and what's happening to them rather than listen to you about your problems. Sorry if I'm sounding a little negative there. So I asked the question and it came back that he was the gardener. He loved gardening. He said, didn't you know that? And I go, well, why would I? I only know you're in the role of Aikido. I teach you Aikido. You come here, you drive 120 miles one way, you drive 120 miles back just for an hour and a half's lesson. To me, you're a very dedicated student, but I didn't know you was a keen gardener. I mean, keen's not the word. He's looks like a fanatical garden. Precision, detail, what he grows. He did go on to say how it was joint and how they both enjoyed the garden. So then there's harmony there, isn't there? Both parties are enjoying their garden. So we don't always know about the things that each other does. And why would we? I'm talking to you. You might be interested in many things, but you might be just coming to my particular site for specific items. Let's say I grow roses and I like a special red climbing rose. You would come to me to get knowledge about that. And yet, like you, I do so many other things with my life that people don't know about, you won't know about. Perhaps you do, some of you do, who have known me long enough. They know I'm a bit wacky, a bit off the wall, yet you stick by me. So one of my passions is I didn't know whether I wanted to believe in having a guide, you know, always by my side. This, you know, who is this guide? I want to know more. No, I don't really want to know more because I haven't really found any help from them. Then I thought, well, perhaps you're not, you're saying, why me? Why do I have so much bad luck? But you're never actually listening to the answers. So when I went on this retreat once, I've been a few times, so I went on this retreat once where they teach psychics. So you've got Aikido, you've got tai-chi, yoga, meditation. I do healing work as well. I love gardening. I used to keep a special breed of rabbits. I used to keep tropical birds. I then also kept budgerigars. I could go on telling you about all the things that you may not know about me. The same as I don't know things about you. So I go on this psychic seminar, and I may have talked about this before. And this gentleman goes into trance and he starts drawing, and he says he's being led by somebody that I knew. And he draws this picture that I'll show you now. And he said, this is your spirit guide. Sorry about the shininess, I'll turn it a bit so you can see. If I divided it, you would see that there's two faces going straight down through the nose section. There's actually a Caucasian, and the other half is of an Indian. So how I've ended up with one spirit guide who's had two lives, I've no idea. I'm still searching that one out. Anyhow, he gave me this picture and I've had that done, and I've had a frame of another one. So I decided that I was quite dumbfounded by it, and I thought, oh, is it real? I mean, you know, somebody's just drawn this. And I was in a very confused state, but also a very happy state, because I thought, oh, at last, I do have a guide. I actually have somebody I can talk to. I've actually got a friend. Yes, I've got a friend in my partner, Jane. I've got my children. I've got lots of friends. But I don't know, this was different. It had a different feel to it. So I lay in bed that night in this centre, and it had quite heavy duvet, and it had some what I consider as old-fashioned blankets. So there was not a light covering on me. But as I lay there, it felt as if I was becoming the sausage in a warm, hot sausage roll that just been freshly made. I don't really know how else to explain it, but I was not smothered, but I was contained, and within that containment I lay in the middle. But the contained feeling around me was of warmth and love as I'd never in my human life experienced before. I didn't share this information with anybody for years because I didn't really know how to explain it. But the love is something not of this world, or I have not yet experienced it at this point in time. And this evening I did experience it. And I knew then, and I don't know why I knew, but I knew then that I'd made, or I should say, my guide, the picture of this person in the spirit world, was showing me that the connection was there and made. I was also told telepathically, or however I received it, that I wouldn't feel it again in my lifetime because it took such a large amount of energy to perform this, or say caressing, of joining us together, and me knowing with certainty that that wasn't me doing this, but it was a connection being made, proving to me that there is life after death, and there was some thing, energy, spirit, soul, there was something that was there and was there for me for the rest of my life. All I'd got to do is realise that it was there to help me. And help me in thought, because like me, when I pass, my hologram, my spirit, or whatever, will no longer be able to push a button, hold a baby. But the hologram will be able to show to somebody on the living plane, if they have this insight, that there is something there of the person who was, while on the earth plane, what form of body they had and what they looked like. I hope you found this interesting. I thought I was only going to make 2 chit-chat films. I'll have a small pause and I'll then carry on. I hope you're finding it interesting, or perhaps I will see everybody leaving my Patreon and my YouTube channel thinking, I don't want to follow that nutter any longer. It's your choice. But I hope that I've made you think about the pink piece of paper with the white dot on it.